I got into the house, I told Georgia, my wife, I said, I need to go to the emergency room. And if you're not going to take me, we had a little bit of a spat. And I said, if you're not going to take me, I'm going to call 911. She said, no, I'll take you. And we jumped in the car, drove downtown St. Paul, got into United, and they said, well, you've had a heart attack. My blood pressure was incredible, like 225 over 190. It was super high. They said I got very lucky. They gave me the nitroglycerin, gave me painkillers, they gave me the morphine, the Demerol, whatever it was. And they put me in a hospital room. I thought they were going to take care of the problem right away. But they gave me a regimen of chemicals and drugs that night. And I was scheduled to have surgery the next day. Well, around 6 in the morning, they came in and they did a shift change and they gave me some more meds. They gave me a drug called Toprol, and it's supposed to lower your blood pressure. They gave me too much. So I'm in the hospital bed, and all of a sudden I got nauseous. I felt sick to my stomach, and I told the nurse, I said, I'm not feeling very good, and she handed me a bucket. The alarm started to go off on the heart monitor machines. I grabbed the bucket, I couldn't really get anything out, then I started to sweat, and the sound started to go away. I saw some people coming into the hospital room. And I looked over, and a wave of calm came over me. And it was a feeling of complete freedom from worry, from stress, from regret. Completely at peace. And I looked over to the side, and the room was empty. I didn't hear anything, I didn't see anyone. And I looked, and there was the light, the portal, I call it, that people talk about. Now, I'm an intelligent man, I've watched the shows. I understand some doctors think that the light that you see when you die is just simply you dying. Well, I made sure to look to the left, and the room was empty. The room was absolutely empty. There was no one there. There was no sound. And I looked back to the right, and there it was. There was the portal. I could almost sense to this day that the other side was there. It is definitely there. And that there was another realm waiting for me. And then in the next second, I was upside down. My heart had stopped. They were about to defib. I was upside down. They had inverted me in the bed so the blood to rush towards the heart. The room was full of about 8 people. I mean, it was busy. They injected atropine into my heart, and my heart, I remember them saying when I got up to stop the defib, the atropine got me going, my eyes opened up, and they started asking me questions. I don't remember what the questions were, but I was forever changed. I was forever altered. I wasn't sure at first if I had indeed come back for real. And it took a lot of soul searching thinking about this. I mean, the thought, it's never left my mind. I mean, I realize that the afterlife has nothing to do with God or religions or tenets. It has to do with you and you inside and being comfortable with yourself and being ready, you know, having that positive outlook. It took me a long time to come to grips with dying and coming back. I felt like that was my time as preordained by fate, you know, and here we are mucking about, and I'm back to life. I couldn't understand why I had come back, you know, why I was allowed to continue my life. After the deadline went by, the doctor gave me 5 years. That's when I started to draw. I've always been talented, and I always knew at some point in my life I'd always planned on taking it somewhere and drawing and using my talent. I feel that I'm more of an emotional artist now. Instead of, you know, being able to just to draw whatever, now I really get to the heart of the emotions and what people and what their expressions are trying to say. That painting up there, what I call taking my brother to the home for cancer kids. You know, the look on his face, the look of worry and fear and joy, like the Brock Lesnar painting. I mean, the face, I wanted to capture that joy. I went through depression 2 years. 2 years of crippling depression. I stayed in my bed, I mean, for all day and wouldn't do anything. I mean, I did the absolute minimum that I could. I didn't go outside. I didn't go out into the yard. I didn't want the neighbors to see me. I still have a problem with agoraphobia just because I guess that's my nature, you know. I really have to make an effort, you know, to go out and be out there and social. But when I am, I'm fine, you know. I'm a bright, shining light, but there's the inner struggle that I still deal with to get me to step away from the art table, from my little cell that I've created here, you know, my little studio. What was I going to do? After the deadline, I realized this is the time for my art, and can I do it? And that's when I started the book Klonko. I thought I was going to die before I finished it. My chest pains I was feeling, and I imagine a lot of it was anxiety and inactivity, you know, just waiting for the deadline to come around. But I pulled myself out, I finished Klonko, and I realized I can do this. I can use my art now. There's no excuses anymore. I don't need fancy paper, fancy pens, and you just have to do it. You have to create. So that's what I've done. I've tried to create as much as I can. I figure, you know, well, I'm on borrowed time now, but I'm going to make the goddamn most of it, fucking A. I mean, you only got one life, and you better make the most of it. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm making the most of it before I go.